The police found the body of a Hungarian tourist in the jungles while he was going towards the same track on which Raja and Sonam were last seen. The body of a missing Hungarian tourist pushka salt has been recovered this afternoon. Just when everyone thought that this case was close to being solved, the angle of a mystery girl came up. Yes, I had said that there is another woman in this, and that will be cleared soon. The person who was giving the interview to the media was actually helping the murderers by erasing the evidence himself. This was the most that I talked to them. I gave them the position and went to my house. This red car seen behind Sonam and Raja, and the boys coming out of it were seen in the CCTV. It seems after seeing this that someone had made them follow him. A murder case where the murderers were unaware of that feature of the scooty, which later became the biggest key to open the secret of this conspiracy. They got a huge clue from the scooty, which was left abandoned in Sorum. Everyone saw these three people in this clip, but there was an intention hidden behind their new clothes and shoes. The police was talking about this case in the media, but when it came to motive, the police never reveals all their cards. For the first time, such a clever bluff was done that even a professional face reader will be outwitted. Every piece which came was not a lead. Every piece which came, and when it was pieced together, then it became a lead. On May 23rd, 2025, at around 9:45 in the morning, Sonam and Raja, who had come to Meghalaya on their honeymoon, were accidentally recorded in the 360 degrees camera of a tourist Dev Singh Ji who was passing by while climbing back from Dongriad towards Malachite. Sonam was walking with a raincoat inside a polythene in one hand. Raja was walking behind Sonam with a water bottle and a bag. Just a day before this, on May 22nd, 2025, Raj and Sonam, wearing black raincoats, carrying 2 suitcases, left on a scooty for Sora in Meghalaya, also known as Cherrapunji. They stopped in front of the Mana Hotel there, but when they did not find any room vacant there, they just deposited their luggage in a locker room because the next day they had to go trekking to the double-decker living route bridge in Nanjayat, and they did not want to carry so much luggage with them. So they took out some essential items from both the suitcases and kept them in the scooty, while Raj was filling the details at the reception inside with his ID. Sonam, wearing a white shirt, was seen walking outside and using the phone. After a while, both of them left on the scooty after depositing their luggage at the hotel. At that time, no one had any idea that not only were many deep secrets hidden in all these footages, but these videos were going to become digital evidence of a case that shocked the country. 4 hours later, on the same day, at 1:43 p.m., Raja spoke to his mother on the phone. But the mother did not know that this was the last moment when she was able to hear her son's voice. "Mother, have you come down? Where are you? On the mountain, or have you come down? You go and take us down, we are on top." After this call, the family was unable to contact Sonam and Raja again despite many efforts. "The number you're calling is switched on." Raja and Sonam Raghuwanshi, who live in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, had got married with great pomp just a few days ago, and they had left for Meghalaya for their honeymoon after visiting Kamakhya Devi in Guwahati. Everyone in the family was very happy and were asking about the well-being of both of them on the phone. In fact, a little while before talking to their son Raja, they had also spoken to their daughter-in-law Sonam. "This is a jungle. It is a dense jungle. It is a very steep climb. Climbing means descending is also steep, and climbing is also steep. So what did they go there to see?" Since the afternoon of May 23rd, both their phones started showing switched off. Initially, they did not suspect it to be a network issue because Raja had also told his mother about the network problem last time. "The net is not working. The net is not working. Oh, the net is not working. The net is on. The net is not working at all." But even after 24 hours, when the family could not contact both of them, everyone started getting worried. A newlywed couple, an unknown place, a hilly road, all these things started creating all kinds of fears in the mind. He refuses to go far away, saying that his own home is better. Raj's family contacted Sonam's family and told them the whole thing. Everyone kept trying to call both their numbers till late night of May 24th, but to no avail. So the next day on May 25th, Raj's brother Vipin and Sonam's brother Govind took an emergency flight from Indore to Delhi, then reached Guwahati and then from there to Shillong. On one hand, Vipin and Govind were searching for Sonam and Raja, wandering from door to door with their photographs. On the other hand, a day before, on May 24th, at 9 p.m., Meghalaya police got information about an abandoned scooty near Gold Pai Dhaba in Shillong, Sorarim. When the police traced the owner of the scooty through its license plate, they got the information that the scooty belonged to a rental company which rents out scooties to tourists. And from there, the police came to know that the scooty was rented by a couple. Next day, when Vipin and Govind filed a missing complaint of Raja Sonam in Sora police station, it was revealed that the scooty which the police had found the previous night was the same scooty which Raja and Sonam had booked. Both their phones were switched off, and on top of that their scooty was found abandoned. In such a situation, no one would be able to find the scooty first. One would suspect a crime. But in a tourist-friendly and safe place like Meghalaya, the police had only one fear: that an accident might have happened to them. Because just a month ago, the dead body of Hungarian tourist Pushka Ziti was found in a partially decomposed state in Ramp village. But after the on-site autopsy, the police told that Pushkas had rheumatoid arthritis, due to which he died after slipping and falling into a ditch during trekking. Now, taking this case as a reference, the police started searching whether Raj and Sonam had become victims of an accident. At the same time, Raj and Sonam's brothers also started searching for both of them in their own ways. But till that time, no one had any expectation that the truth of this case would turn out to be so terrible. Welcome to the show. My name is Shashwat, and you are watching The Case of Sonam and Raja Raghuwanshi. Honestly, this is such a case where you will feel that you are close to the truth. A new truth will emerge that will disprove the previous truth. In such a situation, the true picture of the case gets blurred amidst the new news coming every moment. Therefore, watch this case completely so that my attempt to convey the truth to you in a detailed way can be successful. After marriage on May 11, 2025, Raj and Sonam came to Meghalaya on May 22nd to celebrate their honeymoon, and there was no news of both since the afternoon of May 23rd, 2025. As soon as the news of the missing honeymoon couple from Indore came in the news, the process of defaming the beautiful state of Meghalaya started. People started speaking ill of Meghalaya as well as its people. They were abused online. They were called criminals. In a very bad light that we are uncivilized, we are violent people. At such a time, the pressure on the police had increased a lot due to the allegations on the locals and police of Meghalaya and this negativity spreading on social media. The police had to solve this missing case at any cost, and for this they have started investigation by forming different teams. The scooty found abandoned in Sorarim on May 24th was the first clue of this case. The police had come to know that Raja had taken the scooty on rent, but due to lack of CCTV nearby, it could not be known what she was doing there. Therefore, a police team started a search operation in the areas around Sorarim. The other team collects the trip details of this couple. During the initial investigation, the police saw Raja and Sonam in CCTV at two places on May 22nd. First in a hotel in Shillong, where they had checked in first, and second in the CCTV of Mana Hotel in Sora with a scooty. When the police inquired at the hotel, they came to know that due to the room not being vacant, they had just deposited the bag in the locker and left for Malakayat. So now the investigation took the police from Sorarim to Malakayat. Malakayat is also called the last village of Meghalaya and is the main access point to Nagariad. There is no CCTV in this sparsely populated, peaceful area. Often in such places, the people there are the eyes and ears of that place. In such a situation, when the villagers came to know about the missing couple from the police, they themselves came forward to help the police. Here the police came to know from Babnasai Guide that he had taken the couple to Shipra Homestay in Dongriad, where Sonam had told him that they no longer need a guide for the next day. On asking the owner of Shipra Homestay, the police came to know that he had come on the evening of May 22nd and left the next day at 5:30 a.m. on May 23rd. While the police was investigating, they got a big information. The police found another guide named Albert, who told them that he had seen Raja and Sonam returning from the Gariad to Malakayat with 3 people at 10 a.m. When the police wanted to know who those 3 people were, the guide told that they were talking in Hindi. Therefore, He could not understand what they were saying. He also told that these three boys were talking with Raja, and Sonam was walking a little behind them. Now it was clear to the police that first Raja and Sonam kept their luggage in Sora and came to Malakaidat, where they parked the scooty and went into Gariad with the guide. After spending the night in a homestay there, they returned to Malakaidat next day early morning after climbing 3,000 steps. But how did the scooty get found in Sorarim so far from Malakaidat? And who were these three people? And what was their connection with Raja and Sonam? All these questions remained. Since the situation was sensitive, the police kept this information to themselves. Now, the police got a very important information. Actually, these rental vehicles have a GPS tracker, due to which, from the GPS information of the couple's scooty, they came to know that on May 23rd, the scooty was going from the parking lot of Molokite to Wace in Dong Falls in Ryadat and Arliang. It went to the parking lot and stayed there for 18 minutes. This was a very important clue. Therefore, without any delay, the Meghalaya police, with the help of the state government, deployed teams of fire and emergency services, SDRF, NDRF, dog squads, and trained climbers. And the biggest thing was that the locals of Meghalaya, who were being accused of making the couple disappear, were the same people who were trying their best to find the couple. But as easy as it sounds to say, the reality was much more difficult than that. Finding clues of the couple in such a vast area was like finding a needle in a haystack, because the dense forest here and the changing weather were making the search operation difficult. In fact, continuous heavy rains in Cherrapunji on 29, the 30th and the 31st of May also caused flash floods in many nearby areas. On top of that, the grip was weak due to slippery stones, and wet soil and visibility was also low due to foggy weather. Now it was becoming difficult to conduct the search operation because the teams were looking for the couple by rappelling down into the ditch, which also posed a risk to the lives of the rescue team. So as soon as the rain stopped, the police took help from the NASEC team, which started searching the areas through high-powered and thermal drones. Thermal drones have special thermal cameras that detect the heat emitted from the object, that is, infrared radiation. Now it may be a human, an animal, or a machine. This heat is called thermal signature. With the help of these cameras, drones create heat-based images, with which anyone can be found by scanning the waste areas. But the search operation was getting hampered due to bad weather. Due to this, the police had not been able to get any important clue till now, till June 2nd. On June 2nd, the weather cleared and the drones started getting thermal signatures in the deep valley of the parking area of this vast Dong Falls. The police marked the location, and the search operation teams reached the gorge 300 feet below by rappelling. At that place, the police found the body of a man, which was partially rotten and had worms in it, since the face was also unrecognizable. Therefore, the police immediately called Raja Raghuwanshi's brother to identify the dead body. Unfortunately, the tattoo on the hand and the smartwatch confirmed that the dead body was of Raja Raghuwanshi. The news of Raja's death caused an uproar in the entire family. In the house where there was a festive atmosphere a few days ago, no one could have even dreamt that the youngest son of that house would meet such a fate. The body of the person whose recovery was expected by everyone was lying in the gorge for many days. The condition of the dead body had deteriorated so much that the police could not understand whether it was an accident or murder. Therefore, the body was immediately sent for postmortem, where the report revealed that there were blows on his head from the front and back with a sharp weapon. The news of Raja's murder spread like wildfire across the country. The news of Indore missing couple, which was a headline earlier, had now become a national shame because Raja's body was found, but there was no trace of Sonam. Then the angle of human trafficking also started coming in this case, in which the news started coming that Raja was murdered and Sonam was kidnapped and taken to Bangladesh. It was from here that the national media once again started raising questions on the people of Meghalaya, its police and the government, and not only questions but such allegations. Such narratives were spread across the country, which had nothing to do with the truth. Meghalaya, which is one of the safest states, was called unsafe and crime-prone. The people there were called killers and human traffickers. The police were called useless and lazy. Unfortunately, not only media houses, but many so-called creators started speaking nonsense just for views. without thinking to what level they are hurting Meghalaya. On June 4th, Raja's body was sent to his home in Indore. Who knew that Raja, who had left for his honeymoon 2 weeks ago, would return home wrapped in a shroud? Raja's family wrote a letter to the Prime Minister and demanded a CBI inquiry. Raja's family also appealed that we have lost our son, but please return our daughter-in-law Sonam safely. Pundit Kunli, Taka, Manat, every effort was made for Sonam's safety, and that the last wish was fulfilled, but in a way that perhaps even they themselves did not want. At 1 a.m. on June 9th, Sonam reaches Kashi Dhaba in Ghazipur, up in a distraught state. Where did she come from? How did she reach here? No one knew till then. She tells the Dhaba owner Sahil Yadav that she had gone to Meghalaya for honeymoon with her husband Raja. There's some people attacked him with the intention of looting, and he lost his life while trying to save her. She does not know how she reached here from Meghalaya because those criminals had given her an injection of drugs. Sonam asks for a mobile phone from the Dhaba owner and tells the whole story to her brother Govind while crying bitterly. Govind asks the Dhaba owner to call the police immediately and himself tells the police Sonam's location so that help can reach Sonam as soon as possible. MP police contacted up police, and after a while the police took Sonam with them. Now the story changed from here. CCTV footage of Ghazipur Medical College comes out, where Sonam was looking scared, and then by morning the news comes that Sonam has been arrested by the police. How was the victim a few hours ago suddenly declared a culprit? To know this, we have to connect the links hidden in the background of the case. Raja Raghuwanshi, who lives in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, was the youngest of the 3 brothers in his family. After completing his studies, he was handling the accounts and operations of his family business Raghuvanshi Transport for the last 4 years. Sonam Raghuvanshi also lived in Indore, who used to look after the HR department in her father's plywood business. Raja's cousin told that in October 2024 last year, Raja had seen Sonam's profile in the matrimonial app of Raghuvanshi Samaj, where he also created a profile for his marriage. Raghuvanshi Rishti is an application in which people of Raghuvanshi community look for relationships. This relationship has been fixed through the same application. Raja himself had shown Sonam's profile to his mother. Both Raja and Sonam's family were from business background, and Sonam was also working in her family business like Raja. This was the reason why Raja liked Sonam, because he saw a confident and independent partner in her. Eventually, both the families met each other, and on February 10th, 2025, this relationship was finalized at Sonam's house. In this happiness, Raja and Sonam fed each other cake, garlanded each other, and also danced with the family while celebrating their new relationship. After the engagement, Raja's family expressed their wish that the marriage should happen after Diwali. But Sonam's family said that no right coincidence is being made after Diwali. Therefore, they want the marriage to happen as soon as possible. Both the boy and the girl were Manglik, and their horoscopes were also matching. Due to this coincidence and family pressure, Raja's family also agreed to the marriage soon. Both Raja and Sonam got busy in shopping for the ring ceremony, Mendi, wedding, and reception. Raja and Sonam looked like an ideal couple to everyone, and there was happiness and joy everywhere. The name of the life partner Raja was looking for was now printed on the wedding card. And just like that, the series of happy wedding functions began. After completing all the rituals on the day of the ring ceremony, Raja and Sonam exchanged rings, and then both the families celebrated with great pomp while performing the rituals of Haldi. Raja was happy from the heart with the beginning of this new phase of his life. After completing all the rituals, he was just waiting for Sonam to come home. He had also got the house decorated. Finally, the day came for which Raja was eagerly waiting, where on May 11th, Raja's bearer came out dancing and singing. Raja held Sonam's hand and wore the garland, and both got married. On one hand, Raja proposed to Sonam and warded off the evil eye from her. Music, on the other hand, Sonam, claiming her right to be his wife, held his hand and announced the beginning of a new life. After 7 rounds, Raja filled Sonam's mom. He put Mangal Sutra on her and promised to stay together for 7 lives. After the completion of rituals, Sonam's family bid her farewell with teary eyes for the beginning of a new home, new relationships, and a new life. In the reception function, also Raja and Sonam celebrated with all the family members and made promises to each other. Take it, Sonam, you promise. You promise that after the marriage, Raja OG. With whom did you go Raja by? Raja and Sonam look happy with this marriage, and following the rituals on May 15th. That is, on the 4th day of the marriage, Sonam went to her maternal home from her in-laws' house, but due to ill health, she stayed at her maternal home. Raja was told that she had vowed that they would not come close to each other until they visit the Kamakhya temple in Guwahati. On May 18th, Sonam called Raja and surprised him by telling him that she had booked flight tickets to Guwahati for their honeymoon, where they would first visit the Kamakhya temple. Actually, Raja was going to go on honeymoon with Sonam after 2 months. But he was not only surprised, but also happy with this gesture of Sonam. This was the reason why he went out to do shopping for the honeymoon on the same day. On returning home after shopping, when Raja's mother asked him the reason for buying more new clothes, Raja told her about Sonam's surprise honeymoon plan and told that Sonam has already booked tickets for 2 days later. That is, May 20th. Seeing her son's happiness, the mother did not stop him. She just asked when both of them would return, to which Raja told that Sonam has not yet booked return tickets. Therefore, she does not know the date of return. When her mother called Sonam and asked about the date of return, Sonam said that she forgot due to shopping and that she will book return tickets after reaching Guwahati. On May 20th at 6:47 in the morning, Raja takes a Rapido bike taxi from his house and leaves for the airport. From there at 9:30 a.m., he leaves with Sonam via Indore to Guwahati. After reaching Guwahati, they visited Kamakhya temple together. From there, on Sonam's insistence, they extended the trip and left for Shillong in Meghalaya. On reaching Shillong on May 22nd, both of them took a scooty from an auto rental and after packing their luggage, left for Malakiat, parked the scooty in Malakiat, and hired a guide named Bavansai to reach the double-decker bridge in Nagariat and reach Nangriat after trekking 3,000 steps. By the time they reached Nangiant, it was dark, so they booked a room in Shipra homestay nearby and spent the night there. Next day, on May 23rd at 5:30 a.m., they both checked out from the homestay and left for the double-decker bridge. Raja collected the memories of his honeymoon and headed back to Malad with Sonam, where he had parked the scooty. During this long trek of 3,000 steps, Raja met 3 boys from Indore on the way. If someone from his own city speaks his own language in a faraway state, then anyone would be happy and start talking to him. And Raja's nature was anyway very cheerful and friendly. So, when they started talking to Raja on the way, Raja became friendly with them on finding them from his city. His meeting with these 3 on the trek turned into a good acquaintance. During the conversation, he came to know that they were also going to see the same 100 Dong Falls, the place Sonam had chosen to take Raja on a tour. Then what? Raja and Sonam covered the remaining part of the track with the 3 of them and left to see the waterfall together. After reaching Mamlakayat, everyone picked up their scooty and left for the 100 Dong Falls. Since Raja and Sonam had left without having breakfast, Raja stopped on the way and bought bananas, and during that time, he called his mother. "Did you get something to eat or not?" "Maharaj, I am eating bananas right now. I have reached just now. I will leave from here." A few minutes after this call, something was going to happen which was probably beyond everyone's imagination. Around 2 p.m., when everyone reached the parking of the Saudong Falls in Riyadh Arliang on the scooty, there was silence all around. That area was so deserted that there was no one there at that time except those 5 people. When Raja crossed the car and reached the selfie point to see the 100 Dong Falls flowing in these peaceful places of nature, Sonam came and stood in front of him smiling, just like she was standing with him in the rituals that took place a few days ago. But the king was unaware of the deceit hidden behind this smile. So before he could understand anything, on a signal from Sonam, one of those boys suddenly attacked the king's head with sharp machete hidden in the bag, so hard that he fell on the ground covered in blood, screaming in pain. As soon as the first attack was made, Sonam moved back, and in the meantime the other 2 boys also attacked the king's head from the front. The first attack was made from behind, so the king neither got a chance to recover nor to save himself, to fight for life. He did not expect that the woman whom he considered his wife and had come with him to spend the most beautiful moments of his life in these valleys was walking with him as his death. Raja was lying on the threshold of death, soaked in blood. While crossing it, he had seen that his wife Sonam, who had vowed to be with him for 7 lives, brought him to this end within just 2 weeks of marriage. But the story did not end here. The hands which Raja had held lovingly at the time of marriage, on the signal of those same hands, those 3 boys threw Raja into the ditch. Raja was murdered and thrown at such a place that it was very difficult to find his body from there and reveal the truth, where no one suspected Sonam, and she was showing herself as a victim. In such a situation, how did the Meghalaya police bring out her real face with evidence? Not a single murder case had been filed before today in the history of Sora Police Station. In such a situation, this case was time-sensitive. Therefore, Meghalaya police immediately formed an SIT team and named this case Operation Honeymoon. The search operation was further intensified. Patrol dogs and drones were increased. As a result, during the search operation, the police found parts of a mobile phone. A white shirt was found. Raja's bag and medicines were found along with his blood-stained dove, i.e. the murder weapon. This murder weapon was an important link which made it clear to the police that Raja was murdered as part of a conspiracy, because this dove was very different from the locally made dove. Its handle was made of plastic, whereas the handles of locally made doves are made of wood, and this was a completely new weapon which was used only in Raja's murder. From this point, the police felt that the criminals involved in this murder did not belong to Meghalaya. On the other hand, the police found Mangalsutra and toe ring from Sonam's suitcase, whereas Raja's gold chain and ring were still missing. And from this point, the police started suspecting Sonam. Because why would a newly married lady take off her Mangalsutra and go for a walk? Now from here, the police deployed a team to investigate Sonam's call records. During the search operation, the police tracked the GPS of the scooty and reached the AD viewpoint where Sonam and Raja's scooty had stopped for a while. So now the police started searching the surrounding area. Working hard continuously, the police searched the entire area from top to bottom and got the result when they found a blood-stained raincoat, which looked like Sonam's. So the police immediately sent that raincoat for forensics. On the other hand, 5 SIT teams of 15 officers started the investigation. The first team was engaged in reconstructing the murder through Raja's post-mortem report and mobile activity. The second team started scanning the CCTV footages by going to every possible place. The third team was studying Raja and Sonam's call and message data and monitoring the numbers that were active around the couple at that time, some of which Sonam was in contact with through messages, and her location was also being traced near them. The fourth team was collecting every detail by talking to hotel owners, guides, and locals, while the fifth team started scanning Raja and Sonam's social media activity, and here they found a post from Raja's Instagram on May 23rd at 2 p.m., together for 7 lifetimes. The police's suspicion on Sonam deepened because when they checked her social media activity, Sonam had not posted a single photo with Raja till now, and both the phones were switched off only after Raja's post. When Raja's postmortem report came, the murder angle became clear. He was hit on the head once from behind and once from the front, which became the reason for his death. All these findings were slowly leading to Sonam, and the SIT suspicion on her was now deepening. By June 6th, the investigators had collected a lot of evidence indicating that Sonam was the mastermind of this murder, and 3 people from Indore were also involved in it. After this, Meghalaya police shared 4 numbers with Indore Crime Branch. Crime Branch found out that all these SIM cards were bought in Indore, and their addresses were also local. Meghalaya police asked to monitor all those numbers so that their movement could be tracked. Then on June 7th, surveillance started in Indore, after which 3 names came to light: Akash, Vishal Chauhan, and Anand Kurmi. As soon as these names were known, Meghalaya police reached Indore on June 8th, where they started arresting these suspects in plain clothes along with MP police. Police first reached Vishal Chauhan's house, where he was sitting alone and drinking alcohol. Vishal's arrest and then his confession gave the police a very important information. One such name which was never on the police radar was Raj Kushwaha. One such name, which was never on the police radar, was Raj Kushwaha. Vishal gave the location of the third culprit Akash to the police along with this name, and hence he was also arrested immediately. While the police was arresting all these people, Sonam was found at this dhaba in Gazipur late night on June 9th, after which the police took Sonam into custody. In parallel, Raj Kushwaha and Anand Kurmi were also arrested. So in this way, including Sonam, a total of 5 people were taken into custody by the police, since the crime took place in Meghalaya. Hence, after arresting all the culprits, the Meghalaya police took them with them to Shillong, and after presenting them in the Shillong court, took all of them on remand. Interrogation started. On June 17th, the crime scene was reconstructed. This made the picture of this murder clear. One of the 3 accused who were present with Sonam in Meghalaya was Vishal Chauhan alias Vicky, who was a resident of Lalitpur, Uttar Pradesh, but he lived in Indore and used to ride a Rapido bike to earn money. He was involved in this murder because of Raj Kushwaha, because Raj was his good friend, such a good friend that Raj's sister even tied Rakhi to him. The second accused, Akash, is a resident of Siaganj, Indore, who was unemployed and sometimes worked as a laborer, and he was introduced to Raj, not Vishal. The third accused, Anand Kurmi, is a resident of Bina, Madhya Pradesh, and he is a friend of Akash and Vishal. The one who introduced these 3 conspirators to Sonam for planning Raj's murder was Raj Kushwaha. Raj Kushwaha, a resident of Uttar Pradesh, had lost his father 2 years ago, and now he lived with his 2 sisters and mother. Raj had come to Indore a few years ago for a job, and Sonam's brother Govind hired him in his plywood company, where he worked in the billing department. Since Govind had helped Raj a lot in his life problems, for this reason Govind was like a father to Raj. Sonam also worked in the same family business, and it was here that Sonam met Raj. When the interrogation began after the arrest of these 5 accused, everyone remained silent at first. But as soon as the confession started, a conspiracy came to light, which blew everyone's senses. Because everyone had this question in their hearts that how was this entire conspiracy hatched, and why was Raja targeted? Sonam had started refusing to marry her parents from the very beginning. And ever since her family was talking about the relationship with Raja's family, Sonam used to quarrel with her family every day. And this issue had grown so much that even the people in the neighborhood came to know about it. Sonam was stubborn and short-tempered, but she got this nature from her parents, who were also stubborn by nature. They wanted to get Sonam married to Raja at any cost, because in their eyes, there could not have been a better match for Sonam. It was true that there was no better match than Raja. But was Sonam better for Raja? For the sake of society and his so-called image, he emotionally blackmailed Sonam and forcibly got her to agree for marriage, whereas Sonam had threatened him to be ready for the consequences after marriage. Knowing everything, he ignored Sonam's threat. In fact, Sonam's mother always tried to ensure that Raja's family does not get to know about all this, and the marriage happens as soon as possible. That is why she put pressure on Raja to get married soon, by saying that there is no engagement in future. As soon as Sonam's marriage was fixed with Raja on February 10th, 2025, Sonam and Raj Kushwaha started hatching this horrifying conspiracy together. On one hand, she was shopping for the wedding with Raja. On the other hand, she was planning his murder behind his back. Sonam got married to Raja after 1 month on May 11th. But even then, Raj Kushwaha and Sonam kept discussing the murder plan over phone, and on the 4th day of the wedding, i.e. May 15th, Sonam went to her home as per the rituals. But instead of coming back, she stayed back at her home on the pretext of ill health and kept planning on the phone with Raj Kushwaha from there. From 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. on May 16th, both of them talked on the phone for a total of 6 hours and finalized a plan that they will take Raja out on the pretext of honeymoon and kill him. Even Raja did not want to go on honeymoon, but on the advice of Raj Kushwaha, Sonam booked tickets to Guwahati and convinced Raja for honeymoon on the pretext of giving him a surprise gift. There was only one small problem in this whole plan, and that is that Sonam's family priest had forbidden her from traveling anywhere before June 5th. The fear was that her own family might spoil her plans. So Sonam lied to her family that Raja has booked honeymoon tickets. Then, to discuss this conspiracy, Sonam told a lie to her family that Raja has booked honeymoon tickets. For this, Raj Kushwaha met Sonam and the three boys in a cafe in Indore on May 17th. There, Raja gave 2 SIM cards bought using Anand Kurmi's ID to Sonam and the other 3. After that, Sonam gave them train tickets as well as 50,000 rupees cash so that the plan could be executed. According to plan, Raj Kushwaha stayed here in Indore and continued with his daily routine so that no one would suspect. After this, these 3 reached Guwahati by train on May 19th. There they bought 2 weapons from the railway station to kill Raja and then started doing recce at different places. On May 20th, Raja and Sonam reached Guwahati and stayed in a hotel about 1 kilometer away from there. These 3 criminals also booked a room in a Nanda Lodge in Guwahati. Wherever Raja and Sonam went, Sonam kept sending their live location to the 3 criminals, and they kept roaming around with weapons in search of an opportunity. Actually, these people were looking for a deserted area where there was no CCTV and no witness. As soon as Sonam got the signal, the plan was to kill Raja and show his death as a robbery case. That is why Sonam asked Raja to go on a trip wearing a gold chain, diamond ring, and bracelet. But when no chance was found in Guwahati, the plan failed. Then Sonam convinced Raja and got the trip extended to Meghalaya, so that under the new plan, he could be murdered in the forest between Shillong and Sora. And that is why she called those 3 conspirators to Shillong without their knowledge. Sonam wanted to kill Raja at any cost. And this was the reason that when the Guwahati plan failed, she made 2 plans for Meghalaya, Plan A and Plan B, so that if one plan fails, the backup plan can be executed. On reaching Shillong on May 22nd, Plan A was activated. According to this plan, Sonam was going to push Raja into a ditch on the pretext of taking a selfie in the presence of the 3 culprits. In the CCTV footage of the same day, Raja was seen packing for his honeymoon. Sonam was also seen weaving the trap of his death. She was constantly talking to the 3 criminals on the phone and text. Location sharing, updates, and timing of the attack were all being decided at that very moment. But even after so much planning, heavy rain and early darkness made plan a fail. But Sonam's heart was filled with so much hatred that now she was not going to stop. Even after 2 plans failed, she talked to Raj Kushwaha and started working on Plan B. According to Plan B, Raja was to be taken to a deserted hilly area and killed by the 3. This time, to make their plan successful, Sonam did a lot of research and chose 2 places to kill Raja. Malakyat to Nagariad Track and Vasar Dong Falls Malakyat was chosen because it is a very secluded village. No CCTV, no traffic, a village with only 17 families. On top of that, the track to Nagariad is very long, difficult, and surrounded by dense forests. The second location, Vasar Dong Falls, was chosen by Sonam because after 2023, the Civil Subdivisional Authority had closed it due to the ongoing legal dispute regarding ownership between 3 villages, due to which this place was deserted. According to the plan, on May 23rd, Sonam went with Raj on the track from Nagariad to Malakyat, on which these 3 miscreants had also gone. These 3 cultists were accidentally captured in the mobile camera of a tourist passing by at 9:25, in which they were seen going on this path made of stairs on the track. Exactly 20 minutes later, at 9:45, Sonam and Raja were also recorded starting the same path. That is, the 3 criminals were waiting for Raja and Sonam after reaching ahead, because the guide had seen Raja talking with these 3 at 10 o'clock. That is, these criminals had befriended Raja on some pretext in those 15 minutes. And if this footage is seen carefully, then while trekking, these people were wearing brand new clothes and shoes, as if they had never been worn before trekking. Getting ready like this and being present at that time on the trek was also a part of the plan. Because to befriend Raja, it was necessary for these 3 to be in a decent get-up. But even after mingling with Raja, they failed to kill Raja, because after a long trek, these 3 were so tired that they refused to kill Raja. On hearing this, Sonam got scared because she knew that this was the last chance when she could kill Raja. Otherwise, after this trip, she would have to return to Indore with Raja. That is why Sonam offered them 20 Indian rupees lakh to kill Raja. Due to greed for it, they agreed to kill Raja. Then 2 kilometers before Vasdong Falls, Sonam stopped on the pretext of clicking photos, but even here, she did not get a chance. Sonam very cleverly got Raj's phone switched off by saying that the calls coming on her phone were disturbing her personal time. Unaware of Sonam's intentions, Raja switched off his phone. According to the plan, all reached Vastong Falls, which was completely deserted. Raja was alone at the selfie point. Sonam stood in front of him to distract him. She started talking to him on some pretext. She had already hinted. So Vishal, getting the chance, attacked Raja with full force on the back of his head, holding the dowel with both hands, due to which Raja fell on the ground. The next attack was done by Anand, and the last time by Akash. These attacks were done so brutally that Raja died on the spot, and then these three together threw his body into the ditch from above the 4-feet-long railing. The surprising thing was that when the news of Raj's death reached Sonam's house on June 2nd, Raj Kushwaha was also seen reaching there and supporting Sonam's father. Sonam had removed Raja from her way. But half the plan was still left, in which they had to make Raja's murder look like a robbery, so that Sonam never comes in the list of culprits, but is seen as a victim. And for this also Sonam had prepared two plans. The first plan was to show that Sonam fell from the ditch and was swept away into the river, and that she had escaped from there, and the second was to either murder a woman of Sonam's age and height or arrange such a body, and burn it along with a scooty, so that everyone would think that Sonam was also murdered along with Raja. But to make these plans successful, it was necessary for Sonam to disappear, and before that all the evidences to be destroyed. So Akash threw his blood-soaked shirt in the ditch, and Sonam gave her raincoat to Akash to wear. Sonam also broke Raja's phone and threw it away and reached Eddy View Point on a scooty with the rest of the criminals, where Akash threw away the raincoat given by Sonam because it was also stained with blood. From here, Sonam sat behind Akash in the scooty, and Anand left Raja's rented scooty at Sorarim. Then Vishal gave Sonam a burqa which she wore to Police Bazaar and took a taxi to Guwahati, and from there she took a bus to Siliguri. Then she changed the bus to Patna, and from there by train to Lucknow, i.e. through 4 states of Assam, West Bengal, Bihar, and up. Sonam finally returned to her own city Indore on May 25th by bus and started living in a flat which Vishal had already rented for Sonam in his name. When the whole country was worried about Raja and Sonam, praying for their safety, at that time Sonam, who had killed this innocent boy, was hiding in her city and hearing and reading the news of her own disappearance. Everything was going according to Sonam's plan. All the 3 criminals had also returned to their respective homes by different trains. All of them felt that Raja's body would never be found from the place where he was killed and thrown. And even if it is found after months, it would have decomposed to such an extent that it would be impossible to identify it, and then after a few months Sonam would come in front of everyone as a victim of kidnapping. But with the help of Meghalaya police and the locals there, Raja's body was discovered quickly, and the turning point in this story came when the local media of Meghalaya interviewed the guide, who said that 3 people were seen with Raja and Sonam. Now, as soon as this thing came to light, Raj Kushwaha asked Sonam to leave Indore and reappear in Siliguri and pretend to be kidnapped there. She had just left Indore when Vishal and Akash were arrested in a police operation going on in civil dress, and from somewhere this information reached Raj Kushwaha. He became panicky due to the fear of being caught, and he asked Sonam to come forward wherever she was and call her family and pretend that she has escaped from the clutches of the kidnappers. This was the reason that she came in front of everyone by doing drama in a dhaba in Ghazipur. But her whole secret was revealed, and the police arrested her. When everyone was arrested in this case, then a person came in front of the media and gave a statement as if he was unaware of all this, and that person was Silong James, the owner of that flat in Indore where Sonam was living secretly on rent. The same boy had come from there. Correct. The same boy had come. He gave me his entire rent in 2 deposits. That was our biggest problem. I did not talk to him more than this. I gave him the position and went to my home. But the surprise element was that on June 22nd, SIT arrested him on the charge of destroying evidence. Police was looking for a missing suitcase of Sonam, which contained 5 Indian rupees lakh cash, jewelry, and a pistol with which Raja was planned to be shot. After Sonam's arrest, Silom James removed the suitcase from the flat using another key. Police and forensics also went to the place where he had burnt the suitcase and Sonam's clothes. When police interrogated Silom strictly, another character Lokendra Tamar's name came out, and it was on Lokendra's instructions that Silam had burnt Sonam's bag, which contained 5 Indian rupees lakh, pistol and jewelry, which Lokendra had already taken out and kept with himself. Silam and Lokendra used to rent out flats in the same building in Indore, where Sonam was staying. When police contacted Lokendra, he had switched off his phone and fled. But on the evening of June 23rd, he was arrested from Gwalior. The police also arrested the guard of this flat, Bolvir, on suspicion of involvement in MP's crime, and on June 23rd, he was also sent to Shillong on transit remand along with Lokendra. After all, what other evidence was there in the suitcase, and what was Lokendra's connection with Sonam? All these answers are yet to come. Like every case, the most important question in this case was the motive, which we will break down step by step. If forced marriage is considered the angle behind this, then Sonam's parents are guilty. But Sonam cannot be held less guilty on this account. Within just 11 days of marriage, Sonam had such hatred in her heart for that boy who was very simple and innocent and excited to take up this new beginning of life and new responsibility. If she wanted, she could have rebelled against her parents. She could have left her house. If nothing else, she could have at least told the truth to Raja. In such a case, Raja would have backed out from the marriage. But no, she had such a big conspiracy. For so many days, she kept pretending with a fake smile, hiding her dangerous intentions. When Raj Kushwaha's name came up in this case, the matter of love affair between Sonam and Raj started coming to fore. It was said that Sonam had an affair with Raj, and Sonam's family was not accepting this relationship. But then it came to light that Raj used to call Sonam Didi. He considered her as his sister and used to tie Rakhi to her. In fact, Sonam's real brother Govind also said that Raj used to tie Rakhi before me. Raj's family and his neighborhood people also said the same thing. When the police interrogated Raj and Sonam, both of them started blaming each other in the confession and started calling each other the mastermind. But later Raj confessed that he was the mastermind, but surprisingly, he refused to add the love angle to it. Then the police came to know from the call records that Sonam had called a man named Sanjay Varma more than 200 times in the past months. News started coming that this was the man with whom Sonam was having an affair. But later Sonam told the police that Sanjay Varma was none other than Raj Kushwaha, whose name she had changed and saved, and that is why this was coming in Truecaller as well, since there was no clear motive other than forced marriage. Therefore, the police did not verify the matter of Sonam and Raj's affair. In fact, it was not even considered as a sole motive. Frankly speaking, I have still found it very difficult to accept the motive that has been given by the excuse on the surface of it appearing to be a love angle triangle rather. But personally, I wouldn't say that could be the only motive. But the SP of Meghalaya Police, who is leading this case, said something like this. It is very clear that she was in love with somebody, but she had to get married to someone. Somebody means it could be of any caste, gender, religion. Talking about gender, surprisingly, Pundit Ajay Dubey had made some predictions about this case, all of which turned out to be correct. But in the last prediction, the angle of a mystery girl also came up. It was claimed that another woman is involved in this with whom Sonam has a lesbian relationship. Yes, I had said that there is one more woman in this, and that will be cleared soon. Now, as it is said that the police never reveals all its cards immediately. So, can there be any connection between the point of somebody and this prediction? Mostly in the crime cases related to love angle that we have covered, the criminals accept the affair. Because despite doing wrong psychologically, such murderers have a pride in their mind that I took this step for my so-called love. Coming to the point of brother-sister, did he take such a big step for his adopted sister? What was the favor that got Raj involved in such a crime? Because regarding the financial angle, no solid evidence has been found so far. So did Sonam use Raj as a pawn by fooling him emotionally? On June 24th, SP Vivek G said that he is currently assuming in the preliminary investigation that Raj and Sonam were in a relationship and both wanted to do business together. Therefore, both of them removed the person who came between them, i.e. Raja, from the way. Both Raj Kushwaha and Sonam are very clever. They do not have any remotes, and both have hidden the truth behind this within themselves. Raj Kushwaha was present among everyone, and he also brought the shroud for Raja. So the whole truth of such clever criminals still seems to be buried. The angle of Tantra Mantra also came up in this case, in which sometimes it was said that Sonam committed the murder to remove Manglik Dash, and sometimes it was said that she sacrificed Raja in Tantra Mantra. Anyway, there is no evidence to validate all these things. But the media channels cooked up all these news with a lot of spice, and not just such news, but anything started being told without verification. Like in the CCTV footage, a car standing behind Sonam and Raja, and the people coming out were shown that the murderers were following Sonam and Raja in the car till the hotel, whereas in reality this red car belongs to Mana Hotel, and the boys coming out are the staff of that hotel. Instead of raising the real questions, all these baseless things started being presented as sensational. Talking about the legal aspect, Meghalaya police has collected a lot of groundbreaking evidence. But I am afraid of the law here, because as we saw in the Vandana Kalita case, that after committing double murder, despite having all the evidence, everyone got bail and all the culprits are roaming free. Raja's family also has the same fear, which is not wrong. The surprising thing is that all this happened. Despite this, the lawyer who expressed his desire to fight Sonam's case said something which will only make you angry, but the girl is completely innocent in the story that has come out. The story that is being made, all the evidence that is being shown is all wrong. I am sure she has not been murdered. Either she has fallen from the mountain, or some local goon snatched her belongings and pushed her. If I stand in the court, then neither the girl nor the boy, neither of these boys will be punished. Before marriage, Raja had seen many red flags regarding Sonam. Raja had told his mother and his close friends that Sonam neither talks to him nor gives him time. It seems as if she has no interest in me. We both are doing business. But even then I take out time to talk to her. But she always tells that she is busy. Sonal could not attend the call. Many times. I used to call 10 to 11 times when Sonam would attend the call. Raja told me this personally. Raja's complaint was justified because before marriage, acquaintance and conversation is necessary for marriage preparations. That's why Raja's mother talked to Sonam and asked her if she doesn't like this relationship. Sonam had the opportunity to back out of this relationship by telling the truth, but she made excuses like being busy with work, tiredness, not getting time. From the next day, she started calling Raja, but she talked to him only for 510 minutes in the whole day, because actually her mind was busy in planning Raja's murder. I am the hunter. There's only one crime, and so many families get ruined. If you don't want to get married, then don't do it. Make your family clear. If they don't agree, then tell the person with whom the relationship is being fixed, be it a boy or a girl. Because before committing a crime, every cunning person thinks that he will not be caught because the plan he has made is foolproof. But this doesn't happen.